5、4、点火！点火！
Israel knows no sleep, but this time its nightmares do not come from Iran's drones or Yemen's usual missile strikes, but from a new specter looming from the Far East. Western intelligence reports warn hundreds of Chinese missiles that have never been tested in any real war may now be in Iran's hands. The danger is not merely in the numbers, but in the fact that every missile that lands on Tel Aviv becomes a live fire trial. A free lesson Iran delivers to China on a silver platter. And anxiety in Tel Aviv is mounting, as every explosion on Israeli soil would serve as a real-world experiment exposing the weaknesses of the American and Israeli missile shields before Beijing begins its major showdown somewhere else in the world. And the question haunting Israel's decision makers today is this: what are these mysterious missiles, and how capable are they of tearing apart Israel's air defenses before the clock strikes for the next confrontation? Shocking secrets and untold details. We reveal them to you now, dear viewer. Stay tuned until the very end. DF-26D, China's nightmare haunting Tel Aviv. Israel has been gripped by growing fears ever since reports surfaced suggesting Iran may have gained access to China's DF-26D missiles. This medium to intermediate range ballistic missile system, measuring 14 meters in length and weighing over 20 tons, can place all of Israel's territory under fire. It is solid-fueled, enabling launch within minutes from road mobile platforms that can be hidden and camouflaged deep within Iran's deserts. Its range of 2,500 to 3,500 kilometers is more than sufficient to hit every major airbase in the Negev, ports in Haifa and Ashdod, and even strategic facilities such as the Dimona reactor. The missile uses a composite guidance system combining inertial navigation INS with Beidou GPS satellite updates, and employs a terminal radar seeker for course correction, reducing its CEP to under 50 meters, making runway or fuel depot strikes nearly guaranteed. In a scenario envisioned by the Israeli General Staff, Iranian launch convoys would mobilize under cover of night, unleashing simultaneous salvos that appear on radar screens only minutes before impact. Arrow 3 batteries would scramble to intercept, but the missile's maneuverable re-entry vehicles, MARVs, would shift trajectory in their terminal phase, evading interception and striking targets with deadly precision, crippling air bases, setting ports ablaze, and plunging wide areas of the country into darkness. YJ-20, Iran's grip on Israel's ports. China knows that testing its hypersonic missiles in a real war zone is the key to understanding their true performance against Western air defenses. This is why experts believe that any future clash between Iran and Israel could become the perfect proving ground for China's most dangerous anti-ship weapon, the YJ-20. This hypersonic ballistic missile, roughly 11 meters long and weighing over 7 tons at launch, can accelerate beyond Mach 7 before diving onto its target in a near vertical terminal plunge. With a range of 2,000 to 2,500 kilometers, it can strike any target inside Israel if fired from western Iran. Its advanced guidance package blends inertial navigation with Chinese satellite updates and an active terminal radar seeker, achieving a terrifying 10 to 15 meter accuracy, enough to annihilate an air defense battery or destroy a hardened command center with a single hit. In any renewed war between Iran and Israel, Tehran would likely open with YJ-20 strikes before any other ballistic attack, blinding Negev early warning radars and knocking out Arrow and David Sling batteries. This would leave Israeli skies effectively blind for several decisive minutes, just long enough for follow-on ballistic waves to arrive. This prospect terrifies not only Tel Aviv but Washington as well, as such a clash would allow Beijing to collect unprecedented live data on the performance of US and Israeli missile defenses, data that could feed the next generation of Chinese hypersonic glide vehicles. CJ-20A, the decapitation strike from Iran. For years, China has sought a real battlefield to test its long-range cruise missiles under combat conditions, and the Middle East, specifically Iran, may become the perfect stage. Enter the CJ-20A. One of China's most dangerous strategic weapons, this long-range cruise missile measures about 8.5 meters in length, 0.68 meters in diameter, and weighs roughly 2.5 tons at launch, carrying a 500 kg high explosive warhead. Its range of 2,000 to 200 kilometers puts virtually all of Israel's strategic depth within reach if launched from western Iran. It's designed to fly at extremely low altitudes, just 50 to 100 meters, weaving through valleys and terrain features to evade radar detection. Its guiding system combines INS with GPS Beidou satellite navigation, terrain counter matching, and a digital scene matching seeker DSMAC that compares the target image to preloaded maps during terminal approach, achieving a 5 to 10 meter CEP precise enough to strike a tunnel entrance or a hardened command bunker. Despite the subsonic speed, about Mach 0.8, this gives the CJ-20A endurance to approach from unexpected angles and penetrate defended airspace, especially if launched from hidden mobile truck launchers. In a practical Iranian scenario, entire swarms of CJ-20As could be launched in synchronized waves following an initial ballistic strike, arriving simultaneously over Israel's command and control nodes, power stations, and communication hubs. The result, a true decapitation strike, leaving the IDF paralyzed during the opening hours of any major conflict. China watches, and Israel pays the price. Israel fears Beijing is seeking a live-fire testbed to validate its guidance systems, hypersonic warheads, and their ability to breach Western missile shields, and that the Middle East provides the perfect environment. According to reports from the Institute for National Security Studies, INSS, and Military Watch magazine, one scenario is clear. China may transfer limited batches of the F-26D, YJ-20, and CJ-20A missiles to Iran to be used against targets protected by Arrow, Iron Dome, and Davis Sling, effectively turning Israeli skies into a real-world lab for testing Western missile defense under combat conditions. Even more concerning, every successful interception, or failed one, will give Beijing a treasure trove of intelligence on US and Israeli deterrence capabilities. For Israeli leaders, every missile that falls on their soil could become a free lesson helping the PLA refine its weapons and develop next-generation maneuverable re-entry vehicles, not for the Middle East but for the Western Pacific. Washington too understands that such a war would expose the strengths and weaknesses of its missile shield to its primary rival in Asia, which is why the White House is watching closely, fearing Tel Aviv's skies could become a dress rehearsal for the next war over Taiwan. And now the question is yours, dear viewer. Will the Iran-Israel confrontation truly become Beijing's open-air missile laboratory before the showdown over Taiwan even begins? Share your thoughts in the comments.